Greywater recycling systems on a commercial scale can be particularly financially advantageous, and we'll click on the link here, it'll be on the next slide, to show you a greywater recycling system in a commercial application. But basically any greywater recycling system is made up of three main components. The first component being what's called a filtering and pre-treatment tank, and that's basically a process whereby the grey water is filtered to remove solid particles, and then the grey water enters into what's called a buffer tank for short-term storage. And in the buffer tank it's stored basically prior to being processed by the filter skid. So the filter skid is sometimes called a multimedia filter skid, and basically what it does is disinfects the grey water by a chlorination process. So it basically adds chlorine or some other type of disinfecting chemical before passing it out of the multimedia vessel. So the filtering process is controlled by a number of float switches within the pre and post treatment tanks. So what goes into the multimedia filter skid, there's a couple of sort of level switches that will put water in when there's capacity available and drain the water out when required. And then after treatment you'll have a post treatment tank, and basically that's where the treated grey water enters that tank from the previous chlorination process, and it's basically stored in the post treatment tank until it's needed at the point of use, so until the toilet's flushed, for example. Okay, so what we'll look at in the next slide is we'll click on this link and we'll go to a YouTube video that shows a commercial application of a greywater recycling system in a hotel. And what you'll see is the application in the hotel is quite a large greywater recycling system. So as you can see, all systems are sized to the specific site requirements. So a domestic installation will be obviously smaller than a large hotel that we'll see in this video. And for smaller plant rooms, the process rate can be increased with a decrease in the tank sizes as required. So it really depends on how much throughput of the grey water you need or how much you need to store. So basically each greywater recycling system, particularly in commercial applications, are bespoke design for the particular application. So to view the video of a commercial application at a hotel in Amman, Jordan, click on the link here or type that into your Windows Explorer, or click on the link here. So we've seen the large commercial application of greywater recycling. Systems also come in typical sort of standard system sizes, and table here shows you an overview of the technical specification of typical system sizes. So they're basically rated in their volume capacity, so 5 meters, 10, etc., up to 150 meter cubed. The rated filtration output per hour gives you sort of the output in meters cubed. Also an indication here of the pre-treatment tank sizes, the post-treatment tank sizes. So that's basically your storage volume, so ranging from about 5,000 litres up to 150,000 litres for this greywater recycling systems from this particular company. And then it also gives you the plant area required for the system, so ranging from 7 meters squared up to 60 meters squared. So these are quite big systems, sort of ranging from small commercial up to very large commercial systems. The typical specifications for a commercial scale greywater recycling plant are shown in the schematic below, but again the basics of either domestic or large scale commercial greywater recycling system are pretty much the same. It's just scaled up. So you have your greywater inlet to the system, then you have your chlorination, and then you'll have your filter vessel, and then you'll have your treated water out. So that'll go to your storage vessel. So again, the technology within large scale ones is pretty similar, it's just scaled up. In residential greywater recycling systems then, as we've said, the system involves the collection of bath and shower water, which is filtered, disinfected, and then recycled for the use of toilet flushing. So a typical schematic of a residential or domestic installation would look something like you can see here on the right hand side. So you can see the wastewater is coming out of the showers and the baths. It's in the red column, which goes down to the greywater recycling system. and then the yellow column is the waste that comes out of your toilet. And in these particular applications, they're taking the waste from the sink as well and putting it straight into the city sewer system. So again, what you can put into the grey water recycling system would depend on local regulations or local requirements. So the wastewater coming out of the showers and out of the baths, and as you can see also out of the washing machine here, feed into your grey water recycling system. And then what the grey water recycling system does is recycles the water by filtering, disinfection, and then the supply, the light blue, goes up and you can see it feeds the cisterns on the toilets for flushing. On your grey water system here then as well, you have a overflow, so if there's too much grey water it'll go straight out into the sewer system, and then you have a cleaning valve that allows for maintenance and cleaning the system. So the quantity of water used for hand basins, showers and baths is similar to that that's needed for toilet flushing, so it's a good match. And in most buildings, as we've already said, the consumption will drop by at least 50% upon the installation of a grey water recycling system. Residential water treatment systems have been installed in homes on new building estates, and they've also been successfully retrofitted to individual households throughout the UK. So it is a technology that is applicable within the UK and Ireland.